Hello everyone, good evening. I welcome you to this session in which I'm going to tell you about the workshop which I'm going to have on 19th of October about sociology optional. My name is Vivek Bhardwaj and I have been teaching this subject for quite some time, almost a decade. And I'm glad to tell you that I'm going to start my sociology optional this year on KGS platform in the second week of November. But before that, we are going to have a workshop on that in which I will be discussing things about sociology as an optional, because this is one of the concern of the students preparing for civil services, which optional to go about. For that only, we are organizing a session for you all so that you can understand which optional you should go for and what should be the rationale behind that, etc. Okay, before I proceed, let me tell you a little bit about me. When I was preparing for civil services, it was during 2007 to 11, and during our time there were two optionals. I had sociology and philosophy as my optionals, but somehow I fell in love with sociology. And I did score well in this paper as well. But 2013 onwards, as there was just one paper introduced, after that, I have been teaching sociology as an optional. Okay, before that, as far as my academic background is concerned, I did my graduation in mathematics from University of Delhi. Afterwards, I started preparing for civil services, 2007 onwards. Then I did my master's in sociology as well. And I developed a kind of love for the subject. And that's why I'm teaching this optional. Though I had two optionals, but I chose sociology as an optional to teach because it is definitely a lovable subject. If you want to confirm whether it is a good subject or not, there is one thing from where you can relate to, is the UPSC annual reports. For almost a decade, if you go and see the reports of UPSC annual reports, you'll find there have been three subjects from which most of the students are being selected. Sociology is one of them. Geography and political science and international relations are the other two optionals. So these three subjects have been always favorite of all the students who have been preparing for civil services. Today I'm just going to give you it's just a brief class about the things that I'm going to discuss on 19th of October. The open seminar that I'm having on 19th October on sociology as an optional, about that I'm going to give a brief today. So all of you are welcome that day, be it online or offline. Come and decide which optional you should go for. Before I go further, as you can see, I'm going to discuss this thing, sociology as an optional, whether it is a good one or not. I hope you all are aware about the scheme of the examination. As you know, there are three parts of it. It is a little bit thicker than what it should be. Okay. There is PT, there is preliminary test, having two papers, GS and CSAT. Then we have mains, which is comprised of essay plus language, two papers. The way this is qualifying, this is also qualifying, that you must be knowing. Then we have GS papers, GS 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then this is the optional, having two papers, 1 and 2. And then finally you have the interview, which is of 275 marks. I hope it is visible, clearly visible to all of you. Good evening, Anjali. So, the point is, it is this segment or it is this section of the examination because of which you go here and finally get selected. You get your name in the list of the selected candidates, right? So, when you look at the marks, this is of 250, 250, 250, 250, 1000, and then this is of 500. That means optional cannot be ignored. It is of great importance. Then there is a very generic question. Which optional should I go about? कौन सा optional, कौन सा वैकल्पिक विषय में चूज करूं? ये एक सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है जो किसी के स्टूडेंट के दिमाग में आ सकता है. There are several rationale. बहुत सारे लॉजिक दिए जाते हैं कि you should go about this optional or you should go for that optional. I will discuss some of the questions that I'm going to discuss in great details in my open seminar, which is going to be held in 19th of October in Karol Bagh. I will give you the details of the same. But one thing is clear when you look at the scheme of the examination. If you're choosing an optional which is not helping you in other segments, may turn futile for you. In order to make your optional fruitful for you, it is necessary that you choose an optional from which people are getting selected. As simple as that. Go for an optional from which people are getting selected. As a matter of fact, you should know that majority of the students who are being selected in UPSC examination are from science background, be it engineering or the traditional science background. Majority of them are from that segment. But they are picking social sciences. So there is no necessity that you should opt for the same optional that you studied in your graduation. For instance, if you did your graduation in mathematics, it is not necessary just because you did your graduation in mathematics, you should go for mathematics as an optional. But definitely, if you are reasonably good at it, you should go for that. Right? So, it is not a simple thing. Means it requires deliberation. It requires thinking about it, which option I should go for. For that only I'm going to have a discussion on 19th. So, let me tell you about the location where we are going to have. So, this is the date on 19th of October, 6 to 8 p.m. We will be having an open seminar on Sociology optional. The address is here. You'll be knowing the address, where I'm going to discuss different aspects. It is going to be at least 2-hour class in which I'll be discussing all these things. Okay? So, whenever you go to select, and whenever you think of selecting an optional, there are certain questions that you need to have in your mind. कोई भी ऑप्शनल आप चूज करने की सोचते हैं, कोई भी ऑप्शनल आप सोचते हैं कि ये ऑप्शन लो या वो ऑप्शन लो, तो there are certain questions that you should have. Over a period of teaching, of almost for 10 years I have been teaching, so I think there are certain questions that people have in their mind when they try to select an optional. And I have outlined those questions as follows. That's the first question that should come to your mind. See, I'm not going to give all the answers today. I'm just going to tell you What are those things I'm going to do in the seminar that I'm going to have on 19th? First thing that you should have in your mind when you're selecting an optional is whether the subject is scoring or not. The subject that you're going for is scoring or not. You go for an optional which is not scoring, then it's probably you're wasting your time, your money, your energy, and getting a failure. Then, how many people are being, what is the percentage of people that are getting selected from that optional? I mean, suppose 100 people are appearing from a particular subject, how many of them are getting selected? That could be another important question. Then, is it easy? Easy peasy. This is an important thing. कहीं ना कहीं हमारे दिमाग में रहता है कि कुछ डिफिकल्ट सब्जेक्ट, कुछ ढंग का सब्जेक्ट पकड़ते हैं. See, your aim should be clearing the examination and not through a particular subject. कि इसी सब्जेक्ट से हमें पेपर क्लियर करना. That should not be your agenda. Your aim should only be clearing the examination. That should be the only thing that you should have in your mind. पेपर क्लियर करना है बस. So definitely the subject should be easy for you. जैसे when I was thinking of selecting an optional, the kind of arguments that I had in my mind were totally not reasonable. For instance, in the third year, I came across a theorem given by René Descartes. And then I came to know René Descartes was also a philosopher. So philosopher and a mathematician, what a good combination. So as I studied mathematics, so I should naturally go for philosophy. Then I came to know the Pythagoras theorem that I have been, or we all have been studying since our childhood, was the person who coined the term philosophy. So I was like, these mathematicians have been doing great in philosophy, so I should also go for that. These are not valid arguments because you're not choosing a career in academics. आप पेपर क्लियर करने के लिए ऑप्शनल ढूंढ रहे हो, है ना? So it is not necessary कि you should go for a grand subject. आप सोशियोलॉजी से, मैथमेटिक्स से, हिंदी लिटरेचर से, तमिल से, किसी भी लैंग्वेज से if you're selected, it is ultimately your numbers that you're going to fetch you marks and ranks. है ना? So focus on that thing. Easy or not, that's an important question. Then, do I need to have a background in the subject? That's also an important question. That's clearly there in the mind of the students. कि अगर कोई बैकग्राउंड ही नहीं है तो वो पेपर कैसे रेडी करेंगे, कैसे पढ़ेंगे, समझ में आएगा, नहीं समझ में आएगा. So definitely for that thing also the previous question helps. What? Is it easy? Good evening, Yogita. Good evening, all of the students. Again and again I would be saying that. ठीक है? तो ग्रेजुएशन में वो सब्जेक्ट आपने रखा है, नहीं रखा है, ये भी मायने रखता है. Then, is that subject interesting? ये तो आप पे डिपेंड करता है ना. बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट हम पढ़ते हैं, सारे सब्जेक्ट हमें इंटरेस्टिंग थोड़ी ना लगते हैं. तो जो ऑप्शनल आप चूज कर रहे हैं, क्या वो इंटरेस्टिंग है, ये मायने रखता है. ठीक है? उसके बाद बात आती है कितना लंबा सिलेबस है. सिलेबस कितना बड़ा है. If it is too lengthy, then probably it is going to distract you, means it is going to kill your time. अगर कोई छोटा सब्जेक्ट हो जिसमें समय बचता हो, that is good ना. See, you have to have this thing in your mind that ultimate goal of yours is to clear the examination, no matter what you have chosen as an optional as. क्या ऑप्शनल चूज किया है, it doesn't matter. Selection matters. तो उसमें काम आसान करने वाली चीज ढूंढनी है. You have to find things which are making your game easier. Yogita has asked a question, sir, how much time it is going to take? See, Yogita, it takes around 5 to 6 months precisely. I may say, मैं कह सकता हूं कि I will complete in 4 months, But I know there are certain thinkers who are going to be a little bit problematic. थोड़े से problematic हो सकते हैं, उनको समझाने में वक्त लगता है. If this is totally new subject or you already have studied, समय लगता है. So I'll say 5 to 6 months max. That would be enough to complete your course. Okay? So length of the syllabus also matters. And you will realize in the open seminar, I will be explaining this, that the sociology as an optional has only 1.5 paper. Half of the paper is similar. Paper number 1, paper number 2. There are topics which are quite similar in both the papers. So it is not 2 papers, it is 1.5 paper. So it is not lengthy. It is a paper, it is an optional which is quite short and precise. Then that's also a question that you should have in your mind. Whether the option that you're going to choose is going to help you in other segments of GS or not. बाकी GS में वो आपको मदद कर रहा है कि नहीं, ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट रखता है. कोई ऐसा सब्जेक्ट ले लिया. I'm not going to name any optional, है ना. Suppose you pick a subject which is not going to help you in any of the in any of the segment of the examination, then probably that's not a very good choice. एक ऐसा ऑप्शन चूज करें जो बाकी में हेल्प करे, so it will be interesting as well. Okay. Then this is an important thing. Material or books are available for the given subject or not. किताबें हैं, मटेरियल है, मार्केट में चीजें हैं या नहीं है, ये जब तक नहीं पता हो, it is going to be problematic. That's an important subject. Question. Then there is another question. For the given optional, there is proper guideline available in the market. We're part of market now, right? So whether there is suitable guideline available in the market or not, that's an important question. Subject ऐसा पिक कर लिया जिसको जिंदगी में कभी पढ़ा नहीं है, सुन लिया कि यहां से सिलेक्शन होता है और मार्केट में टीचर नहीं है, उसके मटेरियल नहीं है. हाउ विल यू प्रिपेयर ऑन योर ओन? 5 ईयर प्लान थोड़ी ना बनाना है. 5 ईयर प्लान भी बंद हो चुके हैं. 12वां प्लान बंद हो गया ना, नीति आयोग आ चुकी है उसके बाद. सो यू डू नॉट नीड टू मेक अनदर 5 ईयर प्लान. तो इस क्वेश्चन को भी ध्यान में रखना है. देन how many months does it need, as Yogita has asked it already? कितने महीने लगते हैं? These questions you should have in your mind. Keep these questions in your mind when you come to the seminar. I will answer each of these in details. As I'm here to suggest you to go for sociology as an optional, I love to tell you what sociology is. इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस हम डिस्कस तो करेंगे ही, but at the same time we should have a view, we should have an understanding, we should know what sociology is. Believe me, till my 12th जब तक मैंने किया था, I was not aware of this subject. मुझे इस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में पता ही नहीं था. When I came to Delhi, I was doing my graduation. That time around I came to know this is also a subject. Definitely we all are aware of psychology, political science, geography, and history, other humanities subject, philosophy. All these subjects are something that we are aware of. But sociology and anthropology, these two subjects are something, unless you're preparing for civil services or any state examination where these papers is still asked, we do not know about them. तो सबसे पहले थोड़ा ये समझते हैं यहाँ पे कि सोशियोलॉजी है क्या. See, we live in a society. हम सोसाइटी में रहते हैं. What is a society? When we say society, what all come to our mind? क्या आता है हमारे दिमाग में? When we say society, the word society, what does it mean? Society simply means a geographical area, a territory. Number one is territory. with population and a particular culture. These are the three main ingredients. Is it visible clearly, or I should write in black? So, a given territory, geographical area, with a definite population and a definite culture creates a society. Society is created. Now, systematic understanding of society is sociology. किसी भी सोसाइटी को अगर आप सिस्टमेटिकली पढ़ने की कोशिश करते हो तो इसको सोशियोलॉजी कहते हैं. Sociology as a term was coined by French sociologist and philosopher Auguste Comte, which is comprised of two words, socius and logos. Socius is from Latin and logos is from Greek language, where socius means companionship and logos is study of. So study of companionship, study of society is the etymological meaning of sociology. मतलब कि सोसाइटी को अगर सिस्टमेटिकली अगर पढ़ने की कोशिश करते हो तो सोशियोलॉजी होगी. Now there is a distinction. Society could be of two types, precisely, primitive and the modern. So as far as understanding of or definition of sociology is concerned, Auguste Comte, the noted British sociologist, says that sociology is the study of modern societies, though or with a special focus with a special focus on modern society, not exclusively. मतलब मॉडर्न सोसाइटी को अगर आप पढ़ने की कोशिश करते हैं तो उसको हम सोशियोलॉजी कहते हैं. ये बात नहीं है कि आप प्रिमिटिव सोसाइटी को नहीं पढ़ सकते हैं, पर सोशियोलॉजी मेनली फोकसेस ऑन मॉडर्न सोसाइटी. Now the question arises, what could be the possible difference between primitive society and a modern society? See, here you need to understand the concept of modernity. थोड़ा सा हेल्प कर रहा हूं हमको समझने में what is modernity. We all consider that we are modern, but Indian modernity can be considered as a diffused element of our society. Modernity per se emerged in Europe. 17वीं 18वीं शताब्दी में जो कुछ भी बदलाव हुआ यूरोप में, उसके चलते उस समाज के वैल्यू सिस्टम और उनकी संस्थाओं में, इंस्टीट्यूशंस में जो बदलाव हुआ उसको मॉडर्निटी कहते हैं. बिकॉज ऑफ द चेंजेस दैट टुक प्लेस इन यूरोपियन सोसाइटी इन द 17th and 18th century. When you ask Anthony Giddens, he says 17th century onwards, whatever changes were taking place in European society, that changed the value system and the institution of the area, the European society, the Europe and then US as well. That is known as modernity. मतलब 17वीं 18वीं शताब्दी के बाद से यूरोप में जो देश हैं, जो संस्थाएं हैं, जो वैल्यू सिस्टम है, जो मूल्य हैं, जो परंपराएं विकसित हुई हैं, उसके बाद से उनको मॉडर्निटी कहती है. तो व्हाट हैपेंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस मॉडर्निटी अकर्ड? यू कैन स्टार्ट विथ रेनेसा, पुनर्जागरण, गोइंग थ्रू आउट मीन्स ऑल दोज इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट्स, रेनेसा, एज ऑफ डिस्कवरी, scientific revolution, commercial revolution, and reformation movement. These 5 things, starting from say 14th century to 17th century, culminated in the event of Enlightenment, French Revolution, and industrialization. इन 3 चीजों को मेनली अगर देखें, Enlightenment, French Revolution, industrialization, then because of these things, what happened, what changed in Europe is known as modernity. We will discuss it in great details when I will start sociology optional. Acha, here only I should tell you कि sociology optional in English I am starting in the 2nd week of November. Exact date for that will be given on the 19th of October when I will have the open seminar. उस दिन मैं exact date आपको बता दूंगा. Right? So, yeah. So, in great detail, we will discuss about modernity because in the very first topic, we have to discuss it, modernity and emergence of sociology. So, because of modernity, society changed. What changed? What is the new features of the society? How this society is different from the previous one, etc. were studied. Literature were created, giving rise to a new discipline known as sociology. बड़े सिंपल से कुछ क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं, सोच के देखो. मैं आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन करता हूं. Think about it. Why after marriage a girl goes to groom's place? Why are we Indians very religious? Why do girls have long hairs? Why do we gift a doll to a girl but a gun to a boy? Why do we associate the color pink with women and not with boys? Why do we call a girl beautiful and not a boy? Don't you find these questions very interesting? A question interesting है? This is what sociology is. These are the questions that sociology is interested in. Right? Similarly, if you want to get a connection between, say, geography and sociology, so geography may be interested in why monsoon occurs. बारिश क्यों होती है, मानसून क्यों आता है, क्या क्या रीजन है, उसके पीछे ज्योग्राफी को इंटरेस्ट होगा. सोशियोलॉजी में भी इंटरेस्टेड इन द फैक्ट कि इंडिया में जब बारिश की बात होती है तो वहां पकोड़े और चाय की बात क्यों होती है? व्हाट इज द कनेक्शन बिटवीन रेन एंड पकोड़ाज? व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वैल्यू सिस्टम इज दैट? देखो, है क्या, जितने भी अभी क्वेश्चन आपसे मैंने डिस्कस किए, ये सारे क्वेश्चंस आपको पता, इन सारे क्वेश्चन का आंसर आपको कहीं ना कहीं से कुछ ना कुछ पता होगा, बट दे मे बी बेस्ड ऑन योर कॉमन सेंस. कॉमन सेंस इज आइडियाज दैट इज शेयर्ड बाय ऑल ऑफ द पीपल इन अ गिवन सोसाइटी. दे मे नॉट बी वेरी सिस्टमैटिक, एंड दैट्स व्हाट sociology does. It provides a systematic understanding of all these phenomena. ये जितनी भी सारी चीजें मैंने अभी डिस्कस की, इनकी एक सिस्टमेटिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप करने की कोशिश करता है सोशियोलॉजी. एक ब्रीफ था आपके सामने, सोशियोलॉजी क्या है, सोशियोलॉजी एज अ सब्जेक्ट क्या है, इसमें क्या क्या पढ़ा जाता है, एंड ऑल दैट, एंड ऑल द क्वेश्चंस दैट आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस इन द ओपन सेमिनार. So Akansha is asking, sir, is sociology easy like graduation level? Yes. देखो, आपको पता होना, you should know this fact. In UPSC, the GS level is of 10th level and the optional is of graduation level. But if you can master the language and you can write the language that is written in the masters, then you will fetch good marks. पर standard जो होता है वो graduation level का ही होता है. अच्छा, आई एम मेकिंग यू अंडरस्टैंड समथिंग. यूपीएससी, आईएएस, आईपीएस जो एग्जामिनेशन के चलते बनते, दिस एग्जामिनेशन इज नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट. रिमेंबर दिस फैक्ट, इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट, इट्स वास्ट, लंबा चौड़ा है. इट डज नॉट इन्वॉल्व अ वेरी गुड डिफिकल्टी लेवल. डिफिकल्टी लेवल बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है, डिफिकल्टी लेवल इसका नॉर्मल है, लेकिन सब्जेक्ट इतना ज्यादा बड़ा है. आप सिलेबस, इफ यू वांट टू मेमोराइज द सिलेबस, सिलेबस इतना लंबा चौड़ा हो जाएगा कि इट विल बी अ डिफिकल्ट थिंग फॉर यू. So Akansha, you asked the same question which I already answered. When I am going to start the classes, I am going to start the classes in the second week of November after all the festivities. Festivals है ना, अभी सेलिब्रेट करो. दशहरा खत्म हुआ, अब आएगी दिवाली, उसके बाद गंजेटिक प्लेन में छठ की पूजा भी होती है, तो दिल्ली तक होती है सेलिब्रेशन. सब सेलिब्रेट कर लो. When you will be relaxed with your celebrations, I will start the paper. After all the festivities, सारे festivals खत्म हो जाए, उसके बाद I am going to start offline classes. Yes, Yogita, it is going to be offline class only. I like to talk to the students, have their feedback, though I'm having it already, but सामने बैठ के ना वो ज्यादा अच्छा है. अभी तो तुम लोग को ABCD के तौर पे देख रहा हूं. When you're sitting in front of me, it will be more interactive and interesting, है ना? तो आप ज्यादा क्वेश्चन भी पूछ पाओगे और अच्छे से आंसर भी मैं दे पाऊंगा. That is going to be offline class only. ठीक है? So this is it about my session, today's session. I came here especially to tell you that I'm starting Sociology optional on Khan Global Studies platform. I'm thankful for that. In the second week of November. And before that, I'm going to have an open seminar on the optional, जिसमें इस ऑप्शनल से रिलेटेड जितने भी आपके क्वेश्चन हो सकते हैं, जिसको मैंने रफली डिस्कस किया यहाँ पे, दीज 10 क्वेश्चंस. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन, कम विद दैट. उस दिन आइए सारे क्वेश्चंस लेके. विल डिस्कस ऑल द क्वेश्चंस एंड आई विल हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई यू शुड गो फॉर सोशियोलॉजी एज एन ऑप्शनल. सोशियोलॉजी ऑप्शनल आप क्यों चूज करेंगे, क्यों आपको इसको चूज करना चाहिए, व्हाई यू शुड गो फॉर दैट, इज व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट डे. Then, sir, but why not online? Because many students want online. See, Akansha, I did not say it is not going to be online. It is going to be online as well. It is going to be a hybrid model. That's the thing which is flavor of the month. This is going to be online plus offline. So whatever class I'm going to take offline will be online that very moment as well. ऑफलाइन ऑनलाइन साथ में होगा. जैसे अभी आपको पढ़ा रहा हूं, तभी हम लोग द कैमरा, उस समय सामने स्टूडेंट्स होंगे और सामने कैमरा भी होगा, और ऐसे ही बोर्ड भी होगा. आप क्वेश्चन ऑनलाइन पूछते रहेंगे, मैं आंसर देता रहूंगा, और ऑफलाइन स्टूडेंट भी रहेंगे. दैट्स द न्यू थिंग दैट इज हैपनिंग. इस पर क्वेश्चन पूछा है इस बार सोशियोलॉजी ऑप्शनल के क्वेश्चन अगर आप देखेंगे. अच्छा, वन थिंग दैट यू शुड डू for preparing civil services, a very simple thing that you should follow. They say for the examination, for this examination, you should be focused. And when I was even preparing for civil services, I used to wonder, what do you mean when you say you should be focused? It took me time to realize focused means, this is what you say focused. Focus means this. So on this hand, you should have your syllabus. And on this hand, you should have your 10 years, previous year questions, PYQs. So पिछले 10 साल के क्वेश्चन और पिछला बोल रहा हूं, the syllabus और 10 year, ये अगर आपने लगा लिए तो हो गया focused. So focused होके, if you prepare for the optional or the GS, it will be very easy for you. So the classes that are going to start in the second week of the November are going to be in hybrid mode, offline plus offline. Offline plus offline बोल दिया क्या? Offline plus online. Offline भी रहेगा, online भी रहेगा. ठीक है? Not only offline. So that is it. That's what I came for, to tell you that I'm going to have an open seminar on 19th of October in Karol Bagh. And after the class, it will be aired as well. It will be online as well. And I tried to answer all the questions that you just asked. Even after this, if you have any doubt, you're all welcome. Come to the class. We'll discuss and try to see whether you should go for sociology as an optional or not. But I should remind you, there are 3 subjects that have been popular for the last 10-15 years, of which sociology is also one. अगर 3 सब्जेक्ट की हम बात करें, सोशियोलॉजी, ज्योग्राफी, पॉलिटिकल साइंस, तो उसमें सोशियोलॉजी भी एक नाम रखती है. तो टॉप सब्जेक्ट्स में एक है. And it is going to help you everywhere, be it your GS section or even after selection. As a civil servant, it is always going to help you because you will understand people sociologically. Ultimately, you have to work in a social setup. आपको social setup में ही तो काम करना होगा. Right? Manpreet is saying good evening, sir. Manpreet, you are too early for the class because we are going to close it. हो गई है क्लास, हमने सब कुछ समझ लिया है, डिस्कस कर लिया है. मेरा मेन पर्पस था आज आके आपको ये बताऊं कि on 19th of October I'm going to have an open seminar on the sociology as an optional, for which I'm inviting you all and telling you that I am going to start sociology optional in the second week of the November. A particular date will be given to you. जिस दिन हम शुरू कर रहे हैं उस डेट को मैं बताऊंगा जब उस दिन मैं सेमिनार लूंगा 19th को. So all those who can come offline are all welcome. जो ऑनलाइन देखना चाहते हो ऑनलाइन देख सकते हैं. सर एक क्वेश्चन पूछना था, आप नोट्स बनवाओगे या हमें खुद से बनाने होंगे? प्लीज आंसर. आई विल help you. I will exactly help you to make your notes because I understand the importance of notes. Without notes, you cannot clear this examination. So my main focus will be on notes making. Notes making पे मेरा main focus रहेगा. Exploring India is asking, sir, what will be the fee? You should ask the management for that. है ना? आप पूछ लीजिएगा. That's not a big deal. आप क्वेश्चन करके पूछ सकते हैं. Anything else that you want to ask? और कुछ पूछना है? So on this note, I am closing this session and inviting you to the open seminar, for which information is provided here. Just a minute. Here you have the information. When it is going to be held on 19th of October. What is the time? 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And this is the venue where it is going to happen. On this note, I end my class. Thank you so much. वीडियो था नहीं इनवाइट करना है ना.